I'm Dr. Elaine. I will use this moldy bread to disinfect your cut.
Moldy bread was used in ancient Greece to disinfect cuts. We now know that moldy bread is an ineffective treatment. However, Louis Pasteur famously discovered certain fungi, such as mold, are known to block the growth of disease-causing bacteria. The now proper way to disinfect cuts is to wash the area, use ointment, and cover it with a Band-Aid.
Mom,
What's wrong?
I have a toothache.
Be right back. I got the cure. Dead rats.
Ancient Egyptians believed the correct way to cure toothache was the use of a dead mouse. This treatment was incorrect because the dead mouse would inject poison from its rotting body and would cause internal bleeding. The present method for a toothache is to use painkillers, apply a cold compress, home remedies such as gurgling water mixed in with salt, or to simply go to the dentist.
You have malaria. You need arsenic. Feel better.
People who contracted malaria would often drink arsenic to be cured. Although the symptoms of malaria would be suppressed, the human who ingested arsenic would die. We know now that arsenic is a deadly poison. The proper way to cure malaria is to take anti-malarial drugs, such as hydrochloroquine.
This is war.
Oh my god, what happened?
The Romans stabbed me in the war. I have the weapon.
Powder of sympathy is the cure. Here we go.
Aren't you going to put it on me?
No, it goes on the sword.
If a Greek or Roman soldier got a war wound from battle, doctors would apply powder of sympathy, which consisted of dirt, cow dung, grinded worms, and other items, and apply it to the weapon that caused the war wound. This treatment was clearly ineffective, as doctors would not even be tending to the wound of the patient.
Most of the medicine in Rome was originated and based off of Greek gods. When the Roman army conquered Greece, they adopted many of their medical beliefs and ideas. Asclepius, considered a doctor, is the god of medicine and healing in the ancient Greek religion. Asclepius represents the healing aspect of the medical arts. His daughters are Hygeia, the goddess of health, cleanliness, and sanitation; Laso, the goddess of recuperation from illness; and Aso, the goddess of the healing process. Asclepius created a cult of treatments that had spread across much of Greece and numerous temples called Asclepians. These Asclepians were places of healing. They contained baths, gardens, and other facilities designed to improve people's health.
The first medicinal drugs came from natural sources such as herbs, plants, roots, vines, and fungi. The first synthetic drug, coral hydrate, was discovered in 1869, introduced as a sedative hypnotic, which are drugs which depress or slow down the body's functions, often referred to as tranquilizers and sleeping pills. It is still available today in some countries. The active principle in white willow, or salicylic acid, had a bitter taste and irritated the gastric mucosa, but a simple chemical modification was much more palatable. This was acetylsalicylic acid, better known as aspirin, the first blockbuster drug. At the start of the 20th century, the first of the barbiturate family of drugs entered the pharmacopoeia. Basically, throughout time, science and medicine research has evolutionized and still continues to do so, and many new treatments and cures have been discovered and made because of new information, and this has helped doctors and researchers help patients suffering from many different illnesses and diseases. Mutations can be induced by several methods. The general approaches to these mutations often include radiation, chemical, and transposition insertion. The first induced mutations were created by treating fruit flies with X-rays. In addition to X-rays, other types of radiation treatments that have proven useful include gamma rays and fast neutron bombardment. These treatments can induce permutations, which are changes in a single nucleotide, or deletions, which is a loss of a chromosomal segment. Chemical mutagens typically work by inducing point mutations. Point mutations occur when a single base pair of a gene is changed. These changes are classified as transitions or transversions. Two major classes of chemical mutagens are routinely used. These are alkylating agents and base analogs, each having a special effect on DNA. Alkylating agents can mutate both replicating and non-replicating DNA. By contrast, a base analog only mutate DNA when the analog is incorporated into replicating DNA. Each class of chemical mutagen has specific effects that can lead to transitions, transversions, or deletions. Transposable elements are mobile pieces of DNA that can move from one location in a genome to another. Often when they move to a new location, the result is a new mutant. The mutant arises because the presence of a piece of DNA in the wild-type gene disrupts the normal function of that gene. These DNA mutations are now being developed in order to help create personalized medicine. In order to do so, the genetic makeup of an individual would be examined to see what diseases they are likely to encounter during a typical lifetime. By pinpointing specific harmful gene mutations, it would be possible to predict diseases such as tuberculosis and cancer that may come to them later on in life. Although these methods would bring a huge revolutionary step in medicine, there are of course morals and possible harm that could come to the patients being tested on that could bring about problems towards this research.